Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. My friends, we will be killing withers in this episode because we need beacons for the community project. In the near future, the hermits will be taking on 100 withers in a single wither fight, and that means we have to prepare an area full of beacons and redstone to automate the creation of the withers, and we will need a few more skulls from Iskau over here. I spoke to him about that because I have to make 20 beacons. I did a bunch of math and numbers and calculating and pretty much sussed out all the things that we need to do to be prepared in order to fight these 100 wither skulls that Iskau himself has gotten from his amazing farm, which I haven't had the opportunity to see yet. I'm hoping to see it soon. So I've been busy digging tunnels in the nether to the location in which we are going to build this amazing, I was about to say farm, it's not a farm, a fighting arena, let's say. And there's my guardians making stupid amounts of noise. I've also spoken to Tango as well, who's originally going to provide us with the skulls. He's going to provide us with the iron because he's got the iron farm, so we're going to go over to the shop and pinch 14 stacks. So in the area where we fight the withers, we are going to need 4 beacon bases, and each of these are going to need to be large enough to support 4 beacons. We're going to have regeneration and haste. Of course, haste can make you attack a little bit faster. We're going to have speed 2, strength 2, and most importantly, resistance 2 to fight these withers. And since it's a group event, Tango's been kind enough to let us take 14 stacks. Like I said, I crunched the number and that's what we're going to need. And now I'm quickly losing count. I think I need another 4 stacks and my inventory is full of junk that I'm just going to throw over here. So we now have our 14 stacks, and in part of the preparation I have scouted out an area in which we should fight the withers, mainly because there's not a lot of lava in that area. And I've done my first derp of the day. I'm amazed at myself and how silly I can be sometimes. I'd written down the coordinates for where we're going to do this and then calculated the coordinates in the nether, ready to dig a tunnel. And after digging my tunnel, my portal took me to my witch hut. Would you like to know why? Because the coordinates that I looked at in my notes document literally said wither hut coordinates for the nether, and for some reason my brain just saw coordinates and went, that'll do. And then I realised, whoopsie daisy, I've gone to the wrong place. So behind our portal we have this little tunnel to get there, and we should see on the right hand side there is a turning off. So lucky for me, most of the tunnel actually went in a similar direction. So that's the way to get to the wither project, and this is the way to the witch hut. I can't believe I did such a silly thing, but I also needed a tunnel to get there, so it wasn't so bad. And through here, through a bunch of janky blocks I've thrown together, we got a portal. As you can see though, there isn't too much to talk about on this side, and we don't even have a skylight because there's actually blocks right above where I dug down here? Or I dug down here. Oh jeez. So we are going to set up these beacon bases and possibly move this portal because it's technically right in the centre of the area where we're going to fight the withers. So this is where our portal is, this is where we'll fight the withers, and a beacon's radius can go 50 blocks. So what we're going to have to do is go 49 blocks in this direction and then in that direction and put a beacon base there and put a beacon base over here and here and here. And the reason we go 49 blocks is because we want the range of the beacon effects to overlap in the middle, because there's going to be 4 beacons on top of each of these bases. And this is going to take place in this area right here. So I've got a lot of digging to do. I'm essentially going to dig out to this side, go in that direction, build the bases, and do the same thing on the other side. So it's going to be like we have a giant underground H to get to each of our beacon bases. H for Hermitcraft, you might just say. Anyway, this is where the portal was originally, and it kind of dawned on me that I assumed that the portal would be created with the same coordinates to the other side of the nether, but of course the game doesn't do that, so I made my way over to the centre, which is this spot down here, and then I figured we don't actually want the portal in the middle, we want the portal over to one side, because this is where all the withers are going to be. So all the way down the end here you can see that there is a portal. I've changed the one on the opposite side as well, so the tunnel synchronises with it, which is fantastic. And then over here, it goes 50 blocks in that direction, and 50 blocks in that direction. This, all the way to the other side, is 100, and then 50 and 50 again. So it's like a big 100 block cube, I guess. So this is the third of 4 beacons that we have to install that are done. But at the other corner things are a little bit different. As you can see, there is lava in the way, which will be a nuisance, but because we're doing this at diamond level, it does mean there is an upside. We get some diamonds already. I'd already got 11, so we're up to 13 ore, and look at that, there's some down here. Speaking of all that lava, we've encountered exactly 0 of it so far, and these are the last few blocks, so that was a real stroke of fortune, because that stuff can really get in the way. So far so good, but now what we got to do is dig holes up to the surface, right, in these 4 blocks. Now, luckily for us, we've built this on a grid centered around the coordinates. So if I stand on here and press F3, you're going to see that it's minus 2,400. So we know that from there we can drop in like this. Wait a minute. Oh. I'm supposed to go another 10 blocks in this direction. Oh, how do I do these things to myself? So this space has been filled in and the beacon has been moved 10 blocks in this direction. So we need to go to the surface and dig down these spaces and then probably fill in the walls as well, as we don't want stuff from the caves finding their way down to these beacons. Right, but because we know where the coordinates are, because we've done it on this grid based around the 100 numbers, that is going to be nice and easy. Getting up to the surface might be a bit of fun. Here we go. Come on. Yes! Sweet! Oh, okay, that was fun. Alright, I'm happy to announce that that was successful, and now I will go and do the other 3 holes. And since we're going to cover up all the caves as well, it kind of makes sense to cover up the top of this as well. Don't want anything wandering in and falling down that might cause a nuisance. Okay, all 4 of those have been taken care of, glass at the top, so now I guess we want to put in the beacons, and I don't have any, so we got to fight withers. I'm thinking, let's do this the easy way. We've got a lot of grinding with these projects we're doing at the moment. So we're going to head over to the end dimension. Actually, no. Do you know what we need to collect first? We need to collect soul sand. So I'll do a little bit of that here in the nether. But we need to go to the end dimension. Over there, Impulse has set up a cheaty little wither station killing thing using the bedrock of the portal, you know? So we can basically kill them without having to really fight them. There it is, my friends, 16 Nether Stars, and I got some fancy new faces with this as well. Might actually already have a couple of these lying around in a chest, but it made me think. I was going to ask Iskall, in fact I did ask Iskall, if I could buy some more Wither Skulls from him for our pirate project, which one day we will return to. And remember, the pirates over there are going to have Wither Skull faces. Well, we could use some of these as well for like captains and special units, so they'll be useful for a project another day. Also, what is going on around here? Look at this, there's pistons and platforms made out of dirt in the end. Probably Cubvan, actually. I think I know what he's done. He's gone and moved one of those, yeah, end crystals somewhere. Also, what's in this chest? Lots of soul sand. Ah, that makes sense. If I'd have known that was there, I wouldn't have to have gathered so many, but hey, it's not a bother, is it? So we now have our beacons. I went and mined up all of the obsidian and took care of that. And the next thing that we need are some dispensers. In fact, we're going to need 300 in total. So right here I have 96. I might have some stashed in the base somewhere. And the easy way of being able to get dispensers in 1.13 is that you can use damaged and broken bows, of which we seem to have none. Now I think we might have a lot of these left over in the Team Star base, so I might go and raid it for some bows. We're obviously going to need to get a lot of cobble and redstone together as well. I came over here sort of half prepared, but that's what we're doing next. We're just fishing together all the resources to make more dispensers. So I managed to wrangle together some bows and fill up these shulker boxes, but it kind of occurred to me, we have a string shop here on the server. Maybe we'll just do it the good old-fashioned way and craft all of these ourselves, because otherwise I'm going to spend hours of that skeleton farm getting bows. Sometimes you don't have the best of ideas in your mind straight away, so it's good to think things through and think about other ways to do things, right? Oh yeah, and this shop is a total bargain. 1 diamond for 4 stacks. That is such a good price. Ah, but only when the shop is actually in stock. Ah, jeez. It's out. Oh, there's bows over here. 1 diamond per bow? And here it is, the last set of beacons to be placed down. We have sorted out all of the dispensers. As you can see, I went over to Tango's farm. He had a load of string lying around. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He's been supplying the iron for this project, and so I pinched a few stacks from him and was able to get that done. Now we've got to set up each of these beacons, and the way that I'm doing this is I'm facing north each time I place these down and setting them up with the same configuration from left to right. So that means when they overlap in the middle, there won't be one that's like missed in the very same spot because they're all configured the same. This one I believe was strength 2, and then the last one was always resistance 2. Yes. It makes little sound effects now when you actually apply the effect. It's really cool. Alright, so now we have haste 2 in this area. It's always a good idea to do things in the correct order, because now I need to clear out some space. No, we don't have haste 2, because we have haste shared with regeneration. Well, I will temporarily go and change one of those to haste 2, and then we can use it to mine out the area a little quicker. Now I must remember to change that back, very important. Because we need regeneration over in this corner. That's one of the most important. Hey, we got some diamonds. That's fantastic. Anyway, we got to clear out this area because now we need to make a redstone contraption. We're going to line up all the soul sand for the withers and create dispensers in the area that will then put the wither skulls onto the soul sand. If you didn't know, you can actually use redstone to summon a wither using that. So that's what we'll do in this space. But I think it might be a good idea to do some testing in a creative world first so we can see what different ways we can actually arrange this stuff. Last time we did this, I seem to remember the dispensers facing forward. Now they can face downwards and hopefully dispense downwards as well. And before we give that a test, it's going to be so simple just to scale this up. There's something else that I want to do as well. We need to save the structure. I've put in the numbers to create a shape here. And then over here we switch to loading mode. And we load it in. So if you middle click that, it's already in loading mode. And I've clicked on the wrong button. Like that, or you could power it with redstone. And we'll just chuck down a few more of those and a few more blocks to power it. So now we've got a whole row of these and everything should have a wither skull in, yep, as you can see. And we've got redstone on top, which we can power. So we do this. I mean, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I will do more testing. We'll actually create one with 100, but that's kind of all I needed to know, that I could do it like that. Right, and now they've created big explosion. Okay, I've been counting this out, so we've got rows of 24, and then we have 4 of those, which is 96 in total, right? And then I've added additional 4, so 2 on the middle at either end. That's a pretty good spread, I think, for what we're after here, and that would actually be the finished module. I've tried to make it as square as possible, and if we were to go further in that direction and cut off some of the length in this direction, I don't think it would get that much more square. So that's what I'm going to go with. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe some of you can crunch the numbers and figure this stuff out. The next thing is how we're going to power it. So I put down a marker on my right, that redstone block. So that's somewhere in the middle. I believe that if we cut 24 in half, that's 12. So the redstone should be able to travel all the way down to the end, but it's also got to do that diagonally as well. So then 13, 14, and over here 15. So we would actually be cutting it really close. So rather than cut it close, let's have 2 repeaters pointing in and have them spaced out. Okay, I've gone and made a backup of this world. And this could be exactly what we end up building on the server. So we just need to power this block here. And then that repeater and the one over there is easily going to hit all of this redstone, I think. And I hope there's a way for us to kind of make sure. I think we just have to be very observant. I see no leftover blocks. Also, do you like my frames right now? This is going to wreak havoc on the Hermitcraft server. I wouldn't be surprised if it, failed completely. And that is potentially the beginning of the fight, right? A horde of withers absolutely everywhere. And now they're fighting each other. Wonderful. So I don't know how I ever managed to overcomplicate these rows and add a couple extra on some side but not on the other. We've just got 4 rows of 25, right? That makes complete sense because it adds up to 100 and it's centered around the middle of this entire area. And we're doing it like this. We're doing the digging in 2 stages because this means I can go along with my dispensers and quite easily face them downwards when I place them, right? And then I can go up top and clear out a too high space. I'll put some lighting up there, although technically I won't need to because it will be redstone on top of these blocks, which stops mob spawning. So this is the order in which we're going to do things, right? We do that, then we come over here and we put in the soul sand. At some point I'll have to walk down here and put in the skulls, but I probably won't do that until we're closer to actually doing this event, in case I accidentally activate it. I can also check that we can activate all the redstone if I don't put it in there straight away as well. Alright my friends, we are done. This room is basically set up and ready to go. There's a line of redstone coming down here and we can extend that in the future. For this episode, that's all we're going to do really. I now just need some more skulls from Iskall and I'm going to pass on some instructions to the other hermits as for the kind of armor that they're going to need and potions and golden apples to bring with them to the fight. Although things like potions, I might actually investigate brewing some of those myself and seeing if we can supply everyone with things like night vision, So there's still more work to do with this project, but for now we have done the bulk of it, which I'm really pleased about. And we're going to go back to the shopping district next, I think, because I believe I've made some sales and we haven't checked up on our shops in a long, long time. And I didn't forget about our beacon. Oh no, it's this one right here that needs to be regeneration and haste. There we go. Also, we will probably do something like build an obsidian box around the portal over here and create a respawn room, but we'll do that another time. The Civil War has been a huge distraction. I was actually ready to restock this shop before it started and then completely forgot about it. So over here it looks like we sold nothing. And in here we've sold nothing. And over here we've sold nothing. But I actually have some skulls to put back in here. I found my supply of scoots. And we have 2 shulker box of bone blocks to refill this one. And this is where I believe the real profit has been made. Tango told me that he came and brought out a load of my kelp stock. Not these chests, apparently. There we go, and I'm going to guess maybe Tango is a shareholder? Okay, I've been checking the wrong side. It's these ones over here that are mostly empty, right? And there are all of the diamonds. Let's count them up. My goodness me, that's crazy. Over 100 from this shop. That's fantastic. I also told Tango he could come over here and take some more if he wanted as well, because, yeah, Tango and I were both on the server AFKing for resources, and he said he was after kelp, and I was like, just take some from the shop over there. We've got more than enough. Alright, next up we're going to go check on the wool farm. This is just beautiful, my friends. Look at that. 1 more diamond in total than what we made in the kelp farm. Incredible. And most of these are selling for shareholder prices as well. So we should head over to the stock exchange and see if the price of our shares has gone up at all. My friends, this is a beautiful part of the Hermitcraft server, isn't it? And the stock exchange is a glorious building. I haven't been here in a while, and I was just thinking, do I actually remember the situation with our stock? I know that we were this price here, yeah, 32, and we had brought just over half of the company. So that means there's an additional 8 slots, and last time I think we checked it, we had sold 1 or 2 or maybe 3, so I reckon we're looking at least 5 newcomers who have brought stocks in our company. That's really cool. It hasn't upped the price yet, but I'm really happy we've got more people to invest. I have neglected this while the Civil War's been on as well. Our XP repair shop, Doc's XP repair shop, and it doesn't look good because all of the furnaces have been used. Yeah, look at all those red blocks. That's not the best of sights, but somewhere around here we should find ourselves some diamonds. Look at that, investor diamonds. So we've made a profit of 5 diamonds for Doc. We're going to tally all of this up in a moment. And I do not have the time to restock this shop. And yikes, look, up here. It is all full up to the brim. The hermits have been loving this shop, using it like crazy. Anyway, we're going to drop off Doc's profits, and then we're going to tally up the total. Today might be a record amount of diamonds made in one go, 210, and that brings us up to a... Today might just be a record for the total amount of diamonds in one episode, 210, bringing us up to a total of 1,441 for the season. As I head back to the base, I am left with a thought, that is that we are doing 3 big projects at the moment, and I'm kind of curious to know which one are you most excited for? Seeing the interiors of my base get finished, the nether hub get finished, or seeing the 100 wither fight? Let me know, there'll be a card on the screen. Give it a click, or you could leave a comment down below and put it into your own words. This is the end of the episode though, and if you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. It helps make a difference here on YouTube, and it's always appreciated when all of you do that, so thank you so much for your wonderful support. And as always, I'll be seeing you very soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye bye!